Formula One heads away from the British Grand Prix and goes to the Hungaroring in Budapest. Welcome to the Hungarian Grand Prix. We're at the halfway stage of the season here in Hungary before in a week's time we head over to Belgium before the summer break. Then we go over to the Netherlands and Italy, followed then by our Asia tour in Singapore and Japan, back to the Middle East for Qatar before flying over stateside. We go then to Kota, then we go over to Mexico, Brazil, Las Vegas, and the season rounds out back in the Middle East in Abu Dhabi. Max Verstappen leads the championship on 255 points. Sergio Perez is on 156. He has a 99-point lead in the standings after the opening 10 races. Fernando Alonso in third on 137, then Lewis Hamilton in fourth on 121, Carlos Sainz on 83, Russell 82, Leclerc 74, Stroll 44, Norris 42, Esteban Ocon rounding out the top 10 on 31. Oscar Piastri has 17, ahead of Pierre Gasly on 16. Alexander Albon has 11, Nico Hülkenberg on 6, Valtteri Bottas on 5, Zhou Guanyu has just 4, Yuki Tsunoda on 17, only on 2 points. Then Kevin Magnussen, Logan Sargent, out of the session goes Nick de Vries. He's been replaced by Daniel Ricciardo. In the Constructors' Championship, Red Bull leading that one, 411 points to Mercedes on 203. Aston Martin on 181, Ferrari 157, McLaren on 59, then Alpine on 47. Williams have 11, the same as Haas, Alfa Romeo on 9, AlphaTauri only on 2. Let's take a look at the Hungaroring in Budapest. 2.738 miles, 14 turns in total. They describe this place as Monaco without the barriers. Just the one DRS zone and 14 corners, but it's a fan favourite. Good exit on the last corner and then booted hard on the run down towards turn number 1. Now, it's a downhill braking zone as well, and it's quite treacherous in the wet. So take a long sweep in, third gear, inside line. You're already on the power at the exit with the DRS open as you run down towards the kink at turn 2. It's sort of a double apex hairpin. You sort of throw the car in and hope it sticks to the centre of the track. Kink at 3 rises you up the hill towards turn number 4. Right at the top of the hill, fast speed, down 2 gears, flick the car in, don't go all 4 wheels off the track. Now it narrows up as well. Up through 6, 7 and 8 chicane is really tricky. Single file, nasty bumps either side. It really unsettles the car. Now this is the most feared part of the track. Single file, quite quick, sort of Mickey Mouse, backwards and forwards. Think Maggotts and Beckett's, but a lot tighter. Out of turn 11 and 12, the car wants to open up and sing, but it's sort of held back. It's like you've got a dog on a lead. Down now in towards turn 12, flick the car in, back on the accelerator. Turn 13, lovely. Concrete inside, nice and slippery in the wet, but nice and dry and grippy coming in the race. Last corner, turn 14, similar to what we have at the Nürburgring. Flip the car in, take a nice tight line, a lot of power at the exit. You can keep up across the line, and that is a lap of the Hungaroring. Hello everybody, good morning to you and welcome to the FIA Formula One World Championship. It's round 11 of the campaign and we're here at the Hungaroring in Budapest. It's going to be quite an exciting round and we're getting set for third practice. Richie's about to jump in the box. Megan's going to be with us as well, but alongside me in the pre-build-up is Josh T and Omi. And Josh, yesterday, practice 2. Nobody could make any sense of it. So many different changes at once. So many different compounds after a wet first practice. But today, this is where we're going to see the main running. Beautiful sunny conditions, 24-degree air temperature, track temperature 44. We've got single tire qualifying. Practice 3 is going to be epic.
Yeah, it really is. You've got to get tons of lap times in on all different sets of compounds if you can for the practice 3. No one knew what to think about practice 2. It was a weird one, let's say. I think practice 2, but practice 3 there's going to be a lot of action.
And Omi, coming to you on this as well. We saw, of course, Sergio Perez making a mistake. He crashed out. He wanted a perfect weekend. He never got it. He's now really struggling here this weekend because he's destroyed his new tyre. The new upgrades at the moment for Red Bull, he's destroyed them.
And he's also still got qualifying to go, so not good news for him at all. So hopefully he can sort something out. But I have a feeling once again he will not be sorting anything out. And instead, with also the qualifying mandatory tyres, he's going to be going out in Q1 and Q2. But yeah, as Josh said, it's going to be really interesting because we don't know where Red Bull are. There's so many question marks. It looks like Mercedes was struggling yesterday. There's so many different things that we're gonna find out. We don't really have a clue, and I think for the first time this season that I actually just can't tell who is actually where, because Red Bull did not put in any proper lap times. They were 11th, and they are gonna rock up somewhere today, but we just don't know the order. So it's gonna give us a very exciting FP3 and qualifying today.
Well, Richie's joined us now as well. He's just getting set up with headphones and cameras to join us, and he's here now with us. Hello, Richie. We're commentating together. It's been so long because I'm not on PSGL this year. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm tired, but I'm great. It's Josh. It's been too long. It's been over 2 months since we commentated together.
That's ridiculous.
It doesn't feel like that long, but it has been that long. But yeah, I was just listening to what Omi was saying, and yeah, going into this weekend, you can't call anything, can you? At all.
Really is such a weird one, and not even Max Verstappen could possibly do better because he's got a weekend where he's 11th in the second session. So again, he too has got time to improve on. I think that's the same for many of the drivers as well. Right, who's going in the pit lane? Between? Oh, never mind. Josh has already gone to the pit lane.
You beat me to it already. Oh. I put my hand up, and then Josh just turns his camera off straight away.
Yeah, he escapes so quickly into the pit lane as we're getting set then. Megan will be with us at some point in the session, so that's going to be nice to hear from her on these thoughts as well coming into the weekend. Just realised actually, because I'm trying to get the cameras working, that they're all switched over. How about that? How fun is that? Nothing works the way you want it to, do you? Anyway, here it comes, his first practice. The third practice session is moments away here at the Hungaroring in Budapest. It is the Qatar Airways Hungarian Grand Prix, round 11 of the season. It marks the halfway stage of 2023. 2 races cancelled. Comically enough, it still would have been the halfway stage of the year. But the season returns as well towards what was the Iron Curtain back in 1986 as well. For some reason, that just said round 5 Miami. What on earth is happening with FOM this morning? 55.29% of the lap is at full throttle. The lap record was broken here by Lewis Hamilton in 2020 when this was round 3 of the season. 34.62 metre elevation change, 14 turns, and it's fast and flowing, which means we've got to step down on tyre compounds. Pirelli have brought the C5 soft, C4 medium and C3 hard. And in case we need them, it's green intermediate and blue wet weather tyres. Don't think we're going to be needing that today, though. It is quite nice up there. Air temperature 24 degrees, track temperature 44 degrees. And it seems like Fulton systems have just crashed everywhere right now because the timing deltas have crashed once more. But now so is the helicopter camera, so doesn't that work brilliantly? Alongside me in the comms box is Richie and Omi. Megan will be joining us shortly, and then Josh Tees escapes to the pit lane to answer to Omi's annoyance. But Richie, we're set again for what should be a classic weekend at the Hungarian Grand Prix. I wish it was as hot in the UK as it is in Budapest right now.
Yeah, it's I think about 15 degrees for me, so it's quite cold compared to what we've had over the past few weeks. But yeah, obviously with the track being a little bit hotter, I presume it'll get hotter over the day with qualifying. So, you know, with the track changing, could make a bit of a difference for qualifying depending on what the teams are running this session. But I'm just looking through the practice results, and the only team that looks comfortable is Alpine, with a third and fifth. Everyone else is scattered all over the board. You've got Aston Martin, they were 8th and 12th. Mercedes, 16th and 20th. Red Bull, 11th and 18th. There's literally nothing to go off, apart from the fact Charles Leclerc was quickest and Lando Norris was second. That is all there is.
And that's
so,
it.
It's going to be very interesting, to say the least.
Nobody has a clue what's going to happen this weekend. Nobody literally has got any idea what we're going to see. 2 minutes until the session gets underway. Ted Kravitz is patrolling the pit lane as well. We'll hear from him shortly. Josh T's got race control data operational. And Omi's alongside in the comms box. Omi, this could be make or break really for the weekend. They need to get their settings running. Perez in trouble and Max Verstappen in 11th fastest. He focused on long runs though into qualifying.
Yeah, they all gotta get a lot of running done. It's gonna be a crucial session. They're all gonna be hoping that there isn't any red flags and there isn't any chaos for any of the drivers, because they're gonna be losing out on running when they weren't able to get too much information yesterday. And even if Leclerc was ahead, Leclerc Norris, still that doesn't give us any information on who's where. So really, it's a complete unknown. It's kind of like we've skipped the Friday and we just have one practice session. And we're then going to be going straight into qualifying. So yeah, it's gonna make it very, very interesting. And I think all the teams will be hoping that there is no disruptions in this session, but I think there will be with how many cars will be out on the racetrack.
Red flags are a common feature at this track. It's quite hard to keep the circuit as tight as it can be. 0% chance of rain, we're being told. Danny Ricciardo just waiting now at the exit of the pit lane as we get our driver tracker working up here in the commentary box. By the way, we have fiddled with some features, by the way, and that'll be ready for the race tomorrow, so we can have the best of both worlds of the graphics. So do not despair, people who liked both systems. We are getting that sorted. As Dear Nat says, let's see the Red Bull drop the sandbags and fly. I don't know, the track seems pretty dirty. Let's go Papaya. Paul says, hey, hey everyone. Hey OPs, hello everyone watching on. We're all set to go for what's going to be an interesting session. Green light, and away we go for the third and final practice session. There's Danny Ricciardo back in now as well. 232 Grand Prix start, 8 wins, 3 pole positions, 16 fastest laps, 32 podiums as well. Back in Formula One, and I'd actually love to get your thoughts on this, Richard. We've heard from Josh and Omi throughout the weekend. What's your opinion on Danny Ricciardo back?
There's mixed feelings. First of all, Daniel Ricciardo being back, it's great. You know, he lost out on that Mercedes McLaren. There was definitely something not right there. He just seemed weird how he was there. He's obviously left, took a year away, well, half a year. Yeah. He's come back in the AlphaTauri, which I think will be interesting. It's arguably the slowest car on the grid apart from the Alfa Romeo. He's got Tsunoda alongside him, someone who's been in that car for now their 3rd year, so he's obviously going to be a bit more up to pace, surely, than Daniel could. So it'll be interesting to see if he's quicker or slower. And then also Nick de Vries going. People say it's harsh, but in my opinion, it's fair. Did he perform? No. He had his chances. He's 28 years old as a champion of Formula E. He should not be performing that bad at all. In my eyes, it's a fair drop. It's a shame for him, of course, but I think it's just a cutthroat sport. That's just how it is.
Do you think as well that going into this as the second half is really sort of like just kicking him while he's down a bit, de Vries? Did he deserve the half season, or at least until the summer break?
Well, we knew he was warned. He got told many times by Helmut Marko. We also don't know what happened behind the scenes. You know, we don't know if there's any friction between anyone. You know, but I think also another thing to add is people say, oh, why didn't they bring Liam Lawson in? But in my eyes, that would have been a stupid move. Not because Liam Lawson's a bad driver, because first of all, rather let him win the championship in the Super Formula in Japan. Second of all, getting rid of a rookie to put a new one in does not look good on Red Bull.
That's true.
If they get rid of a rookie and put in a 9-time winner, that looks good on Red Bull.
And Omi as well coming back in. Drivers just heading out there now. Bottas and Zhou did an outlap on old tyres, came back in, changed, and have gone back out on, again, the same compound of tyre. Only Max Verstappen has gone out there on a brand new set of medium compounds. Everybody else using their sets they did yesterday in practice 1. Good idea, because it got rained off, so they only did like, what, 2-3 laps max, and we are limited on tyres this weekend.
Yeah, we are. I actually talked a lot about it in the show yesterday. Let's go to the pit lane first, and then I'll continue.
There's Ted.
I was going to be talking about
Hello,
this.
Crofty. I was going to ask you whether you're in the habit of talking to truckies in hotels, but anyway, it's nice to know that that floor is going to come back to Woking. But I was going to tell you about Lando Norris and just observe how they are in no mood to go out just yet. Now, you might think it's quite cold down here by the fact that Lando seems to be wearing a fireproof,
Yeah.
and then do they call that a jerkin or a half?
It's a gilet.
That's right. Yes, it's not a jerkin. Is it?
Jerkin.
So I think it's a cool suit, actually. So yeah, he's staying cool down here. But such a McLaren thinking about later on today, wanting to get a true read on the conditions, that they're going to give the first 5 or 10 minutes a bit of a rest. So that doesn't mean they're not confident in the car. Is it the rocket ship of Silverstone? Well, that's the question we've been wanting to answer all weekend. Is the performance that McLaren saw with their upgrades from Austria to a lesser extent and Silverstone to a greater extent real and translatable to here? Well, yes, from yesterday, but the absence of cloud cover, Crofty, means that McLaren are a little more afraid maybe is the wrong word, apprehensive of what the increased track temperatures will do to their car. So this session will prove everything, and it will prove it to Mercedes as well, but we'll get on to them in a minute. There you go, there's Oscar Piastri, if you're still with us down here. There's
yes,
Piastri standing by the side of his car, and with a new floor on that McLaren.
You know me, Ted. I'll hang around hotels talking to truckies. I'll talk to anybody. And last night, Anthony, there I was, round about midnight, talking to a young man who came in straight from the beach, flip-flops, shorts, and a tan. And he's just walked into the commentary box as well. Hello, Nico Rosberg.
That's not very nice to tell that story, Crofty here, like, seriously, but it's a pleasure to be here.
There was sand trailing behind you as you walked in. You had a good holiday.
Very nice, yes. Family time in Ibiza, which is our happy place. It was
Excellent.
very special.
We come clubbing with us tonight instead then. What did you make of yesterday? Because I'm sure you were watching it whilst you were on the beach. Did you pick up anything that might be of interest from that session as to who you think could be strong this week?
Well, I picked up that Sergio Perez is in trouble at the moment. That's what
Well, really, I'm not surprised that Nico's picked that up as well, but nice to see him back up in the commentary box. Cars just heading out there onto the track to get their opening lap times. It's Verstappen with a 1:18.478. He's gone top. Perez, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Ricardo, Bottas. Then we get Zhou, but those last two haven't actually set lap times properly yet. As Charles Leclerc comes out the last corner, really that Ferrari looking a little bit too happy as he comes across the line and goes up into third position with a 1:19.565. You're wearing a Ferrari shirt today, Richie, as well. Are you thinking that that's going to either A, break a curse, or B, cause a curse? Because you're a Verstappen fan.
Is it you
Oh.
always wearing it?
I
always.
wear this. I've got two. I've got the new one and this one, which is the 2020 one. I probably will cause a curse because I've done it many times in PSG. I can't see why it wouldn't happen here. Or it could be the moral support for Ferrari and they think, actually, you know what? He's wearing a shirt. We'll give him a win. We don't know. We'll see. I want to see. Even though I'm a Verstappen fan, I do want someone else to win. I'd rather it be Alonso, but I don't think that Aston Martin's a winning car at the moment.
No, I don't think it is either. New tyre compound trialed in this weekend Saturday qualifying. Hards in Q1, mediums Q2, softs in Q3. What do you think of it, Richard? Then? Is that a good idea to sort of limit the tyre usage and make it fair for everybody?
Well, I've only just knew that. I forgot it got cancelled in Imola, didn't it? So I didn't realise that was a new format. But it's something I don't think it'll be a game changer. I don't think it'll become the new thing in F1. But it is nice to see something being trialled, something a bit different. I don't think it'll ever pass any sort of testing stage because I just don't think it'll work for the slower teams like Haas and you know, the likes of Alfa Romeo and AlphaTauri. But it's nice to try something different. But I just do not think it'll go anywhere personally.
I love how in none of that of the 3 slowest teams you mentioned Williams, because
Well,
they're
Williams
not.
aren't the slowest team.
Yeah, Williams are
They're a
7th.
midfield.
Yeah.
It's great.
They are back. Literally 6 points in Canada, 4 points in Silverstone to go with their point they got in Bahrain. They're now level with Haas at the moment, but Williams are going to get more points this weekend. And Albon and Sargent have been looking very, very strong. Sargent has yet to score points in Formula 1, however. It's all been done by Albon, who's been sort of a qualifying master. It's actually quite funny, actually, if you think about it, because Albon's had more Q2 and 3 appearances this season than Sergio Perez, which I just have to point out.
All replay of signs into turn 2, 3. What's happened here then? Oh, big slide.
Oh, and again,
So-
exit.
Oh, yeah.
Through there.
I think I'm just struggling with the wind.
So we mentioned.
So, yeah, it's the wind.
The
Look
wind.
at that.
Well, they did mention that in practice too, didn't they? Said it could make an appearance.
Wind speed is at 1.8 meters per second.
Well, with it also being quite a thin track and also lots of trees, it creates wind tunnels, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which isn't good.
I just heard
So-
someone saying, can they hear me? Josh T, you trying to say something?
No.
Oh, okay. That could be my own talk back going through. Omi, though, there's Lando Norris just getting set to go out on the circuit. Big surprise at Silverstone, getting a 2nd place, his highest ever finish or 2nd highest finish in Formula 1. It matched that of the 2021 Russian Grand Prix. But could he take a surprising podium here today?
Maybe, but it's gonna be definitely very, very interesting with how that one is gonna go this weekend. I kind of predicted them to maybe not be as much in the fight
2
as this in the
seconds.
Perez.
Thirds are not cooling down. Yeah, I think this is what we're going to have to live with in qualifying.
So
It's a lot of
Oh, they can't cool it down. And he's out there
That's not
on
good.
used mediums, guys, so they're scrubbed.
Yeah.
Well, Perez, does he ever not have an issue with the car or himself?
No.
Big lock up there. Is that Magnussen into turn 1?
Since
Also, I don't know if we mentioned it, but congratulations to Magnussen on his child, on his birth of his new child.
yes,
How do you say that?
a new
Birth
daughter.
of your daughter, that was it, yeah.
Yeah, new daughter, a 2nd daughter as well with his wife Louise. If you do the calculations though, 9 months ago, if you can do the when she was born, 9 months back, it was when he got pole position in Brazil. So
Well,
yeah, I think we know when she was conceived. If you think about it. But yeah, it's just quite funny actually. It's one way to
Perfect-
celebrate a pole
perfect
position.
timing.
Yeah.
Well, also, Josh,
Go on.
I worked out earlier. It's been 1 year and 2 months since I joined the commentary box. for
Is
the
it really
first
1
time.
year, 2 months? Blimey.
Spain
yeah.
2022.
That went well, didn't it? That first practice session.
Yeah, that was. I remember that was the one where you got very angry. 'Cause
Nothing worked.
Everything just off. No.
Yeah.
See, it comes from the job when you can remember it.
I can, yeah. I remember that one. I need to hit it with a baseball bat sometimes. I still do. And then Obi came in free practice 3 this year in, where were we? Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Worst timing though, because I had COVID. So it was like I could not commentate with you as best as I can now because it was just like, ugh. That was a really weird one. Trust me to get COVID 3 years late. I mean, it's ridiculous. But I'm fine though. Obviously, it was what 4 or 5 months ago now. Three? When
Yeah,
was,
about 3 months.
About 3 months ago. Yeah.
Is it
Gone
Miami?
quick.
No, it was Saudi Arabia.
Oh.
So,
Oh
end
wait,
of-
yeah, because that's when I did the F2, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I looked half dead during everything. How I got
Gone
through
quick,
that.
everything.
Say again?
Everything's gone quick, I have to say.
Yeah.
Since Saudi.
Really has.
Yeah, again, Perez lifting up on his lap. Is he still having issues with the tyres? Because if he's having issues with tyres now, he's got to run a set of hards, mediums, and soft, and then also he's got the race. If the track gets warmer, might not be too good. But also Mercedes, yet again,
Yeah.
constantly, their first runs in the session, they need to do something, don't they? Otherwise, they're in a really bad place.
Yeah, they were really struggling actually yesterday, so they have
Yeah.
a lot of work to do today. And obviously with obviously now the hard, medium, and soft, it's gonna make it even harder for Perez to get through, because he's just gonna struggle and maybe might not be able to find his way through. Ocon goes into third, so I think we could see Perez maybe out in Q1 or Q2. So that's gonna be very annoying for them. If it's gonna be annoying for Red Bull, but they might just get Ricciardo, which I mean I wouldn't mind, to be honest.
Gasly's
Good
at
day.
turn 5. He's on an ultra slow down lap. I'm just looking at him now. He's trying to cool the tyres and he's doing an okay job of it, but he's trailing around in second and third gear, so he's really cruising
Yeah.
on the laps. Russell, however, is pushing hard. Is he quicker than Verstappen in the first sector? No, he's 3/10 off. So, as you said, Richie, for Mercedes to have a good qualifying here, they've really got to sort of abuse everything they possibly can. Track limits, everything.
Definitely, and to be fair, Hamilton, I thought he would be doing a good job. This is one of Hamilton's tracks, isn't it? I think he's got, is it 8 wins here, 8 poles,
Yeah.
the most of any driver matching Schumacher and Senna, I believe, isn't it, around here?
Yeah, Senna didn't get 8, I don't think, here.
Oh, okay.
Schumacher.
Well, I knew
yeah.
Hamilton is sharing some statistic with Senna and Schumacher at one track, or some
is that
statistic, I can't remember what
Spa?
it was. I thought it was here,
It
or
could
at least
be
he's
here.
sharing some sort of amount of wins at a track, and they just mentioned it yesterday in practice too.
Senna could have won here 8 times, and I've missed that. I don't think he did, because it was 86.
Or 8 times at one track at least.
Yeah,
and Russell,
yeah. Yes, that's it.
off.
Yeah, winning 8 times at one track, that's it, yeah. Because
Yeah.
Senna, 86 to 94, and Senna certainly didn't win all those.
No.
Yeah, so he was in 84 to 94, of course, for Ayrton
I'm
Senna.
trying to look through, and Josh, have you got any takes on Aston Martin? What's happening with them?
It's the development. They started off with a great car. They haven't got the upgrades to keep up. So because of all the new
Also-
factory being made, they haven't had time to produce as much as they would in the old factory. So
I was looking on Twitter earlier on, and this is quite an interesting thing. The 3 teams that are rumoured to have broke the cost cap: Alpine, Aston Martin, and Mercedes. said
now I've
the final
heard.
team.
Yeah, go on. I've heard it
Said the
was
final
Alpine.
team. Which one's gonna go?
You. Go.
Right, so the final team is apparently meant to be either Mercedes or Red Bull, but German sources say it's more likely to be Mercedes. For now, at least.
Wouldn't surprise
What
me.
did you hear?
I heard it was Alpine. I also heard it was Ferrari and Red Bull.
Oh,
So,
so
that's 6.
well.
That's 5 teams. That's half the field.
Alpine we both got. So
Yeah.
is that one true?
Has to be Alpine.
Because
then.
they've had good development, very good development.
I'd be
And
quite
did their
sad,
CEO
yeah.
recently get sacked?
Yes, Rossi was fired on Friday.
What for though? That's the thing that they never mentioned why. It just says he's going to step aside. In other words, he's been fired. But is it something to do with the cost cap, maybe?
He was slandering the team, wasn't he, earlier on in the season, saying that you've got to
Yeah.
have better development, and he was,
Baku.
yeah, he was really sort of like, you must do better, you need to do better. And now all of a sudden, we're, 4 or 5 races late, 6 races later, and he's gone. So,
Yeah.
yeah, something was going on there.
But I'm interested in Piastri and Norris. I want them to be at that top again, like there was in Silverstone. They deserve it. If the team can, if this is actually the car it wasn't just Silverstone. They are, in my eyes, team of the year.
Biggest
going into the
turnaround,
summer
yeah.
break.
Look at Bahrain. Look at what they had actually. This, in their Constructors' Championship. We'll open up their battle actually where they are. Look, because look, they are currently in 5th place in the Constructors' standings on 59 points. They're clear of Alpine. But if we look at McLaren, no points in the first 2 races. They were 17th and out, 15th and 17th. Then they were 6th and 8th in Australia, picking up 12 points. 9th in Azerbaijan, picking up 2 points, and Piastri was 11th. Then they were, again, off the pace in Miami, 17th and 19th. 3 points only in Monaco, 9th and 10th. Then they were 13th and 17th in Spain, 11th and 13th in Canada. Austria, Lando was 4th, Piastri was 16th. And then 2nd and 4th, picking up 30 points, their biggest of the lot in Silverstone. and taking over Alpine, who had a pretty much consistent season. In fact, the two of them, again, it's McLaren versus Alpine between the two that are switching over for the battle in 5th place of the Constructors' Championship.
So, Josh, I'm starting to think, is that their biggest point score since Monza 21? 30?
Yeah, I think it must be, wouldn't it?
I think because Ricciardo did nothing in 22. Norris didn't get much in 22. He had that one podium, so it's got to be, hasn't it? Which,
Yeah.
fair play to the team for making that car better. Then that makes you think, did they do anything with the cost cap? Anyone could have done it. You don't know.
And if it's only going to be a
Interesting.
sporting penalty, you know, like a fine, not a
Yeah.
sporting, it's a technical penalty, then
Listen,
fine, they'll do
I
it.
just hope it's not Red Bull for the sake of me supporting Red Bull. Otherwise, then I've got no then people have got an argument to me then.
Yeah, if Red
if
Bull,
they do it twice.
yeah, if they've done it twice, I think we can all agree they are going to get a ban because you can't go over it twice. If it is
If
Red
they do
Bull,
it twice,
yeah,
it'll be, if it was just like it was last year, 400,000, it'll be points deduction, maybe disqualification for the constructors or something.
yeah, which is big news for
But
Mercedes.
I don't think they wouldn't take it off of Verstappen and Perez's single points because they themselves did nothing wrong. It was Red Bull.
Yeah.
So I don't think they punish those two. So they might give them their points, but deduct them completely from the championship. Or if it's that big, they might say, well, you've messed up, gone from that season completely.
Yeah.
Red Bull out of the picture for 2023,
I
and they
can't-
start clean.
It would be fun, wouldn't it, if it was Red Bull?
It was.
But
Or maybe like half the wind tunnel time.
yeah,
Or 30% more, 70% less.
yeah. The thing is that we've got to remember that this isn't the cost cap for 2023. This is the cost cap from 2022. So this is the last
Yeah.
year's.
So they've
yeah.
built onto this car.
Yeah. So if anyone's breached it from last year, they have had big gains because the argument you could say, if you breached the cost cap in 2021, it wasn't really a changeover to the next year because of the whole new regulations. So they were a bit more lenient. But if you've breached the cost cap in 2022, you have a big, massive effect coming into 2023 because the cars are pretty much identical.
Yeah.
So
Red Bull-
Yeah.
Yeah, Red Bull have already said they're working on their 2026 engine
Yeah.
already. They know that far ahead. At this point, if Red Bull stick it where they are, they can win the next 4 championships until 2026 easily.
And that's a terrifying
car-
prospect, yeah.
Look, it's a shame that it's not competitive, but Adrian Newey, you know, that man is incredible. Absolutely incredible.
Do you know what? I'm going to say it as well. I think a bit like when it was Vettel and Adrian Newey, it's the combination. Because Adrian Newey is a
Yes.
fantastic designer, but we had for many a year cars that weren't clicking. It's the combination of car and driver together. Because look, Perez in the car doesn't work, but Verstappen with this car.
Oh, there he
Adrian
is.
Newey's design, there he is, as we're talking about him, the chief technical officer. It's Adrian Newey's design with Max Verstappen's driving. It's the perfect combination, and that's what's making them
Yeah.
fly.
Yeah, I think, you know, if I was hoping they came to this Grand Prix with no sidepods, to be fair. I was hoping that would
Yeah.
happen. So it would be quite funny. But this sidepod change, it hasn't. Is it done much?
No, it hasn't. It's slim
what we've
pod, isn't it?
seen,
Yeah.
Made them slower from what we've seen.
Yeah,
They're
'cause
not comfortable anymore ahead.
I think they are that far ahead. They can afford to take some risks to see if they get gains. That's what it is because these slim pod designs, they're pretty much they're similar to Ferraris, but they are narrower and tighter.
Yeah.
So I was kind of hoping they would have no side pods, to be fair, because then if they won, Mercedes would literally look like
Yeah.
the most foolish team on the planet because they couldn't get it sorted.
Well,
Oh.
Mercedes really look like a foolish team considering they was lean for 8 years and they've dropped off this hard.
Yeah. AlphaTauri have told Ricciardo there is a problem with his car, which they'll explain to him once he's in the garage. And he is currently last
Oh.
on the running at the moment.
That's not good. Well, they're 5 seconds off. Tsunoda and Ricciardo, they haven't done any proper running, have they, surely?
Tsunoda's done 13
also notice-
laps, Ricciardo 12.
Oh. And they're 5 seconds off. Oh.
That is
But
a
notice,
surprise.
Bottas and Joe in the top 3 with their set of soft tyres.
They're having a remarkable weekend so far as they come into it. As we're riding with Fernando Alonso, just coming back through. We'll just change back over to the Delta screens. But yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that. There must be a problem
Yes.
somewhere.
There must be. Sargent's quicker than Albon at the moment by a tenth. Piastri and Norris are now in the top 7. I didn't see that one. But also I noticed that Alfa Romeo was 7th and 9th yesterday in practice too. So they're doing a decent job this weekend.
We'll keep an eye on, see if that changes. I'm so upset to see that Ricardo's got problems. What have you found, Josh? What have you found, Amy?
High Tech received $500 fine after a battery fell off Mini's car. No disqualification.
Oh, so he
A
wins!
battery fell off.
Perfect!
Also-
Mini wins. They won.
Also, I was going to say, to anyone, if I don't know if she'll watch back after, but congratulations to Jess for doing the Formula
Yes.
Student.
Yeah.
I don't know if she'll watch this stream back
Oh,
later
she
or not,
does?
but if she does, then yeah, well done, Jess. Well deserved.
That was brilliant. I watched a little bit of it in between the sessions
Yeah,
as
I
well.
didn't see any yet.
She's put the link in the chat, and
I watched a tiny bit.
it's amazing actually to see Jess on a in real life broadcast. It's sort of weird because we work with her up in the commentary box, and it's like she's at Silverstone talking to people in the paddock and on the track. It's weird. So Jess is really enjoying herself, and we'll have her back in the commentary box next time out at Spa. She'll be covering one of the support series there, I think, either Formula 3, Formula 2 or Porsches. We've got a double yellow in Sector 11, and it's gone green immediately. Can't quite
Turn
tell
8.
who was. Yeah, turn 8. Thank you, Josh T, just shouting in the background. So,
Is it Joe?
I think it could be now, because he's in that area.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's coming down
Max!
toward
Max was there. Just to let you know.
Sainz, Gasly, Hamilton, Albon were all there as well. Which one was it? That's a question. Any of them.
I'm keeping my eyes glued to the battle screen.
Also, how come on the live timings? For me, Verstappen is VST, not VAR. Is it because of the sure enough too?
What time of screen are you on?
But you know, F1T feed.
Oh, I've got it as VAR. Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh, mine says VST.
Oh,
That's
right,
odd.
That is odd. Right, here's the yellow.
Magnussen.
Briefly out. I think it's someone off track. We haven't seen a replay yet. We haven't been told what it was. Well, that's helpful. Lewis Hamilton into the chicane.
Right.
Lewis cut the corner at turn 6 and 7. That could have been the double yellow.
How far back is my stream to you? Because I can't see. I can still see adverts.
Oh no, I'm on the T feed. I'm on Sky Go.
Oh, so you can. Oh, so you can see it as well, or you can just hear it.
I can see the TV pictures on Sky.
Oh.
I'm on the battle screen, so they're pit lane channel
Nice.
feed. So I'm just that's where my eyes are. I'm just looking at Alonso around turn 3. So I'm about a minute behind there. Oh no, it's 50 seconds back, so it's quite hard. And then here's the main pictures now that come up.
Yep.
But that's basically how we have to sort of deal with it at the moment. As Alonso completes his lap time, I was following around and stays in 10th. Doesn't improve on the overall orders of the day. In this third practice, there goes Valtteri Bottas down towards turn 1. Actually,
Wow.
can we just take a look at the top 5? 11,000s Verstappen and Bottas, 66,000s Verstappen and Zhou, 76,000s Verstappen and Norris, 80,000s Verstappen and Perez. That is insane top 5.
We can
Now-
only dream about it being that close in qualifying.
It won't be.
Hamilton into the top 8. Do we see another Valtteri Bottas moment at turn 1 with a different driver today? Not today.
Tomorrow.
Sunday.
Quite
Possibly,
possibly,
maybe.
yeah.
If it rains, I'd
Yeah.
do you think it'll rain,
Yes.
or is it not forecast?
I think it'll rain. I think it'll go down. And Valtteri
I
Bottas.
want rain.
Yeah.
On a bit.
I hope it rains, and then Valtteri Bottas could just be like the Archer, just go boof straight down towards turn 1.
Nico Hulkenberg's only had a few laps, hasn't he?
Yes, Hulkenberg's
He's
done.
only had 4 laps out.
So Sargent actually looking at the Delta.
That's
Interesting-
weird.
Interesting that Tsunoda and Ricciardo have gone more laps as.
Yeah. Tsunoda's gone back out, but Ricciardo hasn't, has he? He stayed
Yeah.
in.
Right, let's go over to the F1 Juniors in the commentary box. Zach, Scarlett, Harry Benjamin, the biggest kid of all.
Down, guys, but you sound like you're having too much fun in there, to be honest.
They are very, very good, Crofty. I would be a little bit careful if I was you. But we are having so much fun getting to grips with Free Practice 3 as we currently get underway. I've got Scarlett and Zach with me as well. Actually, Scarlett, this is the first time you're in the commentary
2 seconds.
box.
Verstappen's
Yesterday, you were in the
randomly
pit
lost the
lane
rear.
with Ted, having a great time too. How is it in the commentary box?
It is just amazing in here. I can't believe the view you get to see. I mean, we can see right onto the track. It is just incredible. And, you know, in the pits, it was amazing. It was so loud, I could like feel the cars in my chest. But here, you've got the best view. And, you know, yep, qualifying, we're getting ready for that. And Verstappen, he's in first, obviously, and he's got his medium tyres on. So why has he got his medium tyres?
He actually just had a little wiggle on the rear as well, didn't he, Zach? So, but we've got some new tyre rules coming in for qualifying too, Zach. So they're getting to grips with that?
Yeah, so I think so. That's why I think Verstappen's on the medium tyre. Otherwise, obviously, in a normal qualifying run, you'd be on the soft. But I feel like Red Bull just want to test their pace on the medium tyre. Obviously, in Q2, trying to get into Q3, they'll be on the medium. So that's what I think Red Bull are trying to do.
Now, with our F1 juniors across the weekend, Braden as well, who's not in the commentary box at the moment, but you've had so much access. You've been doing the press conferences. You've chatted to Lando, George and Alex. Zach, you had a one-to-one with Lewis as well. Scarlett, have you got a highlight so far?
Ooh, I mean, everything's been great. My favourite, I've got to say, was obviously the Terrible Trio. That was pretty fun. But being in the pits, I mean, nothing gets better than that. That was just incredible. The noise, I couldn't believe it. And, you know, Ted, you know, with his shorts and his sun cream, that was definitely a highlight.
How could it not be? And Zach, a one-to-one with a
2
seven-time
seconds,
world
guys.
champion. It must have been special.
It was. It was.
Is everything
it was
okay
the
with
best
the
thing I've
rear?
done in my life. Verstappen complaining over the radio.
Is everything okay with the rear? A
So
bit
Max
weird.
Verstappen just saying, is everything okay with the rear? A bit weird. So he's clearly having a
And
few
again.
steps on that rear, is Max
Yeah.
Verstappen, as he makes
Twice
his way
now.
Steering to the-
downhill. But seven-time champion Lewis Hamilton, Max a two-time champion. You got in the car, got shown
Got
around
in
the
the
steering
car,
wheel. How
Showed me around
amazing.
the steering. It was the best experience of my life. Obviously, sitting in my hero, my GOAT's car. Obviously, he's driving it this weekend. It was just mad. I obviously sat in Vettel's car the other week, and it was a very different experience. I think Lewis has a slightly smaller butt, but yeah.
It's such an insight, isn't it, to experience all of this. What an amazing opportunity for our F1 juniors. We're gearing up for qualifying. Of course, we're going to be live for the race on Sky Sports Mix and Sky Showcase for the Hungarian Grand Prix, done a little differently, Crofty.
I think it's doing absolutely brilliantly as well down there on the circuit. I don't know if Ted's in the pit lane as well.
What's up with Verstappen's car?
He's having a really weird one, isn't it? Now watch this again. Let's just take a look at the TV pictures. The rear of the car's stepping out. I just snaps mid-corner. Here's the radio.
It's randomly lost the rear there.
Yeah, see that.
I don't think...
Now,
He's done it twice. And look, here it is. Are we
That's the-
live? No, this is it again. Look into turn one.
Turn one next.
Is everything okay with the rear?
All okay, Max. Try B-Bal 4 if you want to stabilise the entry.
Right, go on, Richie. Look, he's going to do it again to turn two.
thank you there, Sky Sports. Very nice of you. But now the thing is, could that be the tyres aging? That'd be very bad for the Grand Prix. That'd be very bad. Tyre degradation, we'd be looking at 2 and 3 stops.
Yeah, because they've only done 14 laps on those compounds as well. I mean, I'm just wondering as well, is it something to do with the... Is it something to do with the new side pods that's affecting the aero? Like with the wind that we've got picked up, it's 1.2 metres and it's blowing across. It's blowing upwards towards turn 2. So as you come downhill into the hairpin, the wind's blowing against you, which you can easily just hit the rear of the car and spin you around. So I'm just wondering if those new side pods are affecting the way the car gets through the corner. As Hamilton with the DRS open down towards the braking zone at turn 2. This is what I was talking about. The wind's coming straight towards you there, so he's controlling the rear nicely actually. So it is the Red Bull that's having a bit of a problem. He's done 15 laps now on those tyres, Max Verstappen. He's still the fastest, but his last lap time was a 1:23.658. His fastest time is a 1:18.478. So he is massively off the pace again.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? This Rebel having issues. It's Hamilton heading through that middle sector now. You can see the car feels quite planted, doesn't it, Mercedes? A little different to practice too. I think Russell had a big snack coming through this section, but here for Hamilton, the car just glides through, so it seems very nice, and he goes green in that sector, so an improvement there for Hamilton in that middle sector. He comes down into the final few corners at turns 13 and 14. Obviously, you can see there you just dip into turn 13 a little bit. You have a bit of a slide on the exit. Nothing too harmful. Now comes into the final corner, does Hamilton. Rounds it. There we are. Up to the line. I believe it should be an improvement for Hamilton. Is it an improvement? Yes, it is.
118.
So green in this final sector as well. Very nice.
Hamilton secures it P10. We're on board with Yuki Tsunoda. He's 19th at the moment. Ricardo's back out on the track, so whatever problem he's had is clearly dissipated. And we'll be back up to full speed running. Tsunoda comes into the last corner now. Where Megan is, I've no idea.
Ricardo's 1.5 seconds off, Tsunoda at 1.26 seconds off. So about 3 tenths separates them. I think at this Grand Prix, don't expect Ricardo to do anything very spectacular. I think the most likely part is maybe until around Zandvoort, maybe. We'll see Ricardo being slower until he can pick up that pace, get to grips with the car. But I think for now, it's, you know, I don't think we should expect him to be quicker than Tsunoda. Tsunoda's been in that car for 3 years. He gets along with the team very well, as we can see, as you know, we've seen before. So the team's definitely caters a car towards him over De Vries and Gasly in the past. So yeah, I think we should expect to see Ricardo maybe 3 or 4 Grand Prix time be on the pace, if not quicker. For now, I think it's fine for him to be a bit back. He's been out for a year. McLaren, there's just many things that don't get spoken about with those and Ricardo. Something went weird with those. So he hasn't had a proper, in my eyes, he hasn't had any proper racing since 2020 at Renault, in my opinion at least.
Yeah, it was always an up and down year, wasn't it, Omi, between him? And I would argue the fact that he left Red Bull because he didn't want to have Honda engines, and he stuck with Renault, which was a stupid idea. And then he left Renault and went to McLaren with Renault engines. Then he got Mercedes engines. It never worked for him. It never ever worked. And now he's back in the Honda power, and he's apparently happy. So I think Danny Ricciardo was, do you know, it's his own fault.
Oh yeah, for sure. He made many mistakes, many mistakes. He shouldn't have left Red Bull. You know, he had the choice to not leave, but he left for some reason. He went to Renault. In my opinion, a bad idea. Then he should have stayed with I think he should have stayed with Alpine, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he should
personally.
Have. Double cool down now, Ricciardo being told over the radio
So
as well.
everyone having that issue with the cool down, but mainly the Red Bulls. Perez and Ricciardo both having issues with cooling down tyres.
So
and Verstappen.
Yeah. This is
And
going to
Red
be
Bull warm-up
interesting.
isn't the best either too much, is it? Sometimes it isn't always the best, so... Yeah, but it just didn't click together, did it, for Ricciardo as soon as he left Red Bull? I would say he was okay at Renault, but when it went to McLaren, it was just it just went terrible. Went absolutely terrible. So I'm excited to see what he can do, but yeah, it's going to take a few races, I think, for him to start beating Tsunoda.
Also, Naomi, I've just noticed your shirt.
What is it? Oh, it's Alex J. What?
Well, it's not actually. Well, I haven't actually been able to buy one yet, custom made. So what I just did, I printed out a paper of Alex Jake's. I printed out a photo and I sticked it on, and it's looking good.
It looks real.
It does.
That's paper.
It is.
Ah,
It looks
yes,
real.
I
It looks
was,
like the actual art design.
I was going to bring the shirt up.
I just noticed that. I'm having to zoom in.
Also, well, I'll say thanks to Josh T, because he's the one who put it in the chat, and then I just looked over.
What?
Is Josh even with us?
I'm here. Josh T's here in the pits.
With a Josh, yeah. We haven't heard him at all after this session.
I literally just said something.
Oh.
Can you hear me?
He lit up, but he didn't speak.
You
Well,
can't
here's
hear
your
him.
evidence. It's a paper.
I
Here's your
can-
I
evidence.
can hear you, Josh. Josh B.
I can hear him. I can hear Josh T.
Oh, I've got him muted from when I joined the commentary box a few weeks ago. I muted everyone so I could hear the stream.
Rude.
I can hear him now. There we are. I heard
That is
rude.
rude.
You also figured that out in PSG, remember, Richie? You also
Oh yeah, yeah, I remember that. We took about half an hour to figure it out. I thought it was Omi's issue.
Oh
It
god.
wasn't. It was me. We spent half an hour with me the whole time.
How is PSGL going, by the way? I didn't see the last race. I was
Well,
commentating
Josh,
on the ERC.
go back and watch Bahrain, please. It was a great
All right,
one.
I'll go back and watch it. I will. Obviously,
Well,
I
let's
will.
just say
Keeping up with
the
it.
top 3 at the line were separated by less than a tenth and a half.
Did Dan call the end, or did you? He went.
Me. I mean, we
swapped together.
alternated it throughout the last couple of laps, yeah.
Nice.
Hot swap. That's right. Oh, I like that hot swap. That's what I'll call
Hot
it in
swap,
future.
yeah. That's what me and you did anyway. We'd transfer.
Literally, yeah,
what we
every
did,
time.
Well, it just made more sense. Although, I am slightly missing, and it is great on me, the fact that we don't have the usual high production intro that we do, me and you.
Yes.
I'm missing
It's a
that.
shame.
Yeah, I'm missing that. I might
I'll try
start-
and learn it myself.
Yeah.
Or you can try and learn me.
I'll-
Even if it's
yeah.
not the same as yours, just mock-up.
I'll send you all the stuff and you can just drop it in perfectly and everything.
Yeah.
Because that's... Oh, Alonso's gone fast. It's 1:18.350. Faster than Verstappen by 10th and a half. Brilliant. But yeah, I am missing it, to be fair.
Oh, did Ocon stop, or is that just my timing screen being weird? No, it was my timing screen. Ocon stopped at the exit of turn 5 on my screen.
He did on mine as well, but he's got going again, so...
Oh.
I think it must have been a
Another
glitch,
one.
like he's missed a sensor or something.
Oh, and... Oh, my crack isn't on the screen.
I think Ted's in the pits. Ted?
Quite, thank you.
Oh, okay, we missed Ted. I went to Ted,
Yeah,
and Ted
lovely.
wasn't there.
So,
was there?
Alpine. 3rd and 5th in practice 2, 9th and 12th currently in practice 3. Now, does that mean anything? Oh.
You're going to find
Bye-bye.
out later when we get back.
Yep, that's the saying.
I absolutely hate those ad breaks. It's like, what is the point? Just give us the adverts. Like at times we don't need them. Okay, well,
Also, Josh,
go on, I'm listening to both.
I've also printed the JV Motorsports banner, so I might just do one and put that on. I might also wear that at some point. Just put it on this white
Also-
T-shirt.
Yeah, go.
I was watching Formula 1 yesterday, and there's some very odd adverts, which I don't think are child-friendly adverts. If you know what the advert is, for the two
Newman.
stick people.
Oh, yes, that one, yeah.
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 What is that on Sky Sports
I have
F1?
no idea anymore.
People think people get action when they spend their whole life watching F1.
Oh, the little owl says,
Like-
any stoppages so far? I'm watching the England game. No, nothing just yet. Much better screen.
Also, last night, anyone here watch golf?
I'm across
No.
it. What happened? You're
You
leading
watch
somewhere with it.
golf?
I've come across it every now and then.
See, because I was watching it last night just because I got bored, and I was looking at the scores on the right. And obviously you're under par or over par, aren't you?
Yeah.
And to the right of that was some more numbers. Some of them were yellow with like a massive number, and then others, like it was like someone had a score of 65, 10 under par. Then how can someone have 68, 3 under par? How does that work? Because it doesn't equal.
I'm not sure.
Like
You're asking.
I've never.
I think we need a golf expert in the commentary box for that one. I have no idea.
I feel like Tom Dillon would know everything about golf. I don't know why. He knows everything about every single sport. I
Tom
swear.
it does a lot on US1 as well with, it all, with the
Cricket.
cricket. Yeah.
Cricket, Formula 1, IndyCar.
Tennis.
I've been getting into darts recently as well.
Darts.
I'll become a
is-
darts commentator.
180.
Yeah, that's next. That's next on the Joshua Birch channel. Darts.
I don't think I've got the voice for darts. Although snooker.
No, Josh,
was-
you'd be
yeah.
the one who shouts the score out.
Yeah, I'd do that. Snooker would be fun though. Although
Well,
snooker.
I do like snooker. It's boring, but it's entertaining to watch.
Yeah, it'd be quite quiet though, but I'll be doing it differently. It's like
You'd be like Murray. Have you seen that video of Murray Walker
yes,
doing the
yeah,
snooker?
I'd be exactly like that. And here's Ronnie O'Sullivan, and this is now absolutely epic. It would
And
be
he's
funny.
missed it. He's missed it.
It would be exactly like that, to be fair. I love
be
that.
great.
But I tell you one thing, I love doing the tennis commentary, but I think I wouldn't be allowed to do it on the radio because my
Hey, for me-
tennis goes quite high pitch like Formula 1.
See, for me, it'd be like it hits it back, it hits it back, it hits it back.
There is a
I don't
difference,
know
it's
anything
like-
about tennis.
It's like you've got to say if they go forearm, so that's when you hit it forward. So it's a forearm
Yeah.
swing over to the net to the back right. And then usually it's returned with a backhander, so you're using the back of your hand on the racket to bounce it across and send it in the opposite direction.
I did enjoy Wimbledon. That was a good. The final was a good
It
match.
was
I
a
did
good
watch
match, yeah.
Yeah. I missed the ending because PSGL, but before that, it was actually really good to watch.
You won a Sunday,
I enjoyed
PSGL?
it. No, wait. WOR, that was it.
Oh,
not
that's it, yeah.
PSGL. One of the two.
I was gonna say, were you doing
It was a
a
good match.
PlayStation one?
I was doing tier 1.
Oh, right.
WOR. You missed that one, Josh. Come on, keep up with the times.
I've been on a break. I'll be back next season, though. Don't worry, for PSGL.
Well, Josh did ERC, didn't he, on Thursday?
I did.
Also,
that's
Josh,
yeah.
there's
Go on.
more keys. The game's £30 on CD keys, so it's gone down.
Really? Oh, I shall pick
I
it
think
up.
it was 35, 32.
Just waiting to get
But would it
cheaper.
work? But would it work without crossplay? The Steam. I didn't even have a clue about it all.
You need crossplay if you want to do if you want to do PSGL comes, you need it to be on PC, Steam.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it wouldn't work.
Christian Horner.
Yeah, let's go down to Christian.
It's leaving you a bit perplexed as to who's got pace where.
Well, it's different, so it's a bit confusing because you've got a combination of used and new tyres there. I think, yeah, you can see the driver's a little frustrated with it. I think following yesterday's running that it's not as clean as previously, but it is what it is. It's same for everybody.
Christian, it's Anthony here. We've got the two Alfa Romeos. We can see one of them on the screen at the moment. They're right up there, just behind Max. What are we looking at here? Is that genuine from them, or is it just a fuel load thing?
It could be anything. I mean, first of all, they're on the soft tyre compared to the medium, and we think that there is a bit of a delta between those compounds. But nonetheless, you know, very decent times. And you've got to say that Joe continues to do an impressive job versus Valtteri. He's, you know, remarkably close.
Christian, Nico here. Of course, for Sergio, it's a difficult time, and we saw him make a mistake or two mistakes yesterday, also with the lockup. What are you doing personally to support him? Like, did you go for dinner with him yesterday, or is there an example of something you're doing?
Look, you just got to talk these things through and be open and honest. And you know, I spoke with him yesterday, sat down with him over breakfast this morning. And look, I mean, the time that he's put there on a scrub medium, less than a tenth away from Max, I'd say he had the right breakfast. So he's just got to keep that going. That's what we know he's capable of.
Has he got enough spares for the rest of this weekend? What did you come with? And after he had that crash, are you down to the last new parts?
You know, we're never flush with parts because you know, the way that you roll with these upgrades is you run pretty tight. But yeah, we're looking okay. The golden rule is just don't bend it, and it'll be fine.
And Christian, we heard Max complaining about the balance of the car, the rear end feeling a bit weird. Has that been sorted now?
I think that's primarily in turn two. I think there's big gusts of wind that are catching him up. He's aware of that. The GP's been working with him for some tool changes to try and help guide through that. But there's you know, gusts of wind that are just catching the guys out. It's completely different to yesterday, direction-wise. So you've got to be careful you don't end up tuning the car just for one corner. So you're trying to find, you know, is it just isolated to there, and how can you help put a plaster on that corner?
Just before you leave us, and I think Ted's got a question as well. Lando Norris has just gone fastest. He's on the medium tyre as well. They were your closest rivals at Silverstone. Do you think McLaren have made such strides that you expect them to run you close again this weekend?
Well, that's a pretty racy time. You've got to think that the circuit's starting to ramp up now as well. Yeah. So that's new medium for Lando versus new medium for Max. That was circa, what, 40 minutes ago. So that's pretty decent. So yeah, take your pick. I mean, what we saw yesterday was pretty varied. Our analysis showed that yeah, Mercedes was, you know, should fuel corrected, tire corrected, and so on, be pretty competitive as well. But you might get a curveball like an Alpha in there as well. But McLaren continue to show good form.
And Christian, if I can, just from the pit lane, a question about your upgrades. These sort of letterbox-style side pod openings, how much is to optimise the car's cooling at this track? It's always been on the edge for cooling, and how much is sort of aerodynamic gain? Because I'm looking at Ferrari in the garage next door to you. They've had to open up a bit of their bodywork, as I think they're struggling for cooling. So how much better are you with cooling with these upgrades?
Well, I think cooling, you know, is looking under control. It's one of the challenges. I mean, this upgrade is probably the last significant one before the end of the year, and you know, it's got to take into account some very hot venues, Singapore, straight tracks, etc., etc. So, you know, the guys are confident in the numbers that they've got, and the car seems to be cooling okay. So, no issues on that front.
Christian, great to talk to you. We'll speak again in qualifying. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.
Right, late by around about 45 minutes.
I had poached egg and toast for my breakfast.
Yes, you decided to eat breakfast
Yes, and I also decided to wait until my hair was dry enough that it wouldn't electrocute me when I put the headset on.
Well, to be fair, I'd rather if you've been electrocuted be then 46 minutes late to the box. Hello, Megan.
At least I'm here.
You're not even going to be in qualifying. You're abandoning us.
Yes.
You're literally only in the race day coverage because you've got to go to a church fair. And you hate
And then
churches.
a party. Yes, I throw up in churches.
You're the devil. You put your one foot on it as well. You start to sizzle.
Literally, that's not even a joke. I do throw up in churches.
Hello, Megan.
Like,
Huh?
and even if I don't throw up, I feel sick. Like sick to my stomach for some reason. I think it's the mustiness of the places that just really unsettles my stomach.
Russell goes third across the line. It's Norris fastest on a 1:18.082. Hamilton's got the first two sector times though, and Hamilton's faster by 2/10 of a soft tyre. So 1:17.811. I think as well we're going to start seeing Richie some more faster times for the remainder of this session.
Well, is this three-player Russell? Then
Yeah,
at
what's
turn
he done?
4, into turn 4, a little bit wide, into turn 5, don't repeat to Perez.
Is he going off the track?
Oh.
He's all four wheels off.
oh.
Yeah.
Wasn't even trying to
But
stay.
also, I've been searching Twitter. So for race pace simulation, Leclerc over 11 laps compared to Max over 11 laps. Leclerc is 8/10 slower, averagely,
Oh my
than
God.
Max, which is big. Alonso averagely 4 laps, 4/10 slower, and Hamilton 1.5.
Omi, am I right in saying that Max hasn't actually topped a session this weekend? Russell topped practice 1 in mixed conditions. Leclerc topped practice 2.
Yeah.
Max hasn't topped any session. I think that's going to be the first time this year in a practice Max hasn't topped at least one.
Yep, but here he goes, over the line, goes to second, so
Oh.
not first. I was basically expecting to be like, as Verstappen now goes fastest of all, but no, he goes second instead. I just looked at the Porsche Supercup qualifying results, because they did this, because they basically did it before FP3.
Yes.
Harry King on pole.
Yes, I was watching, I was doing the graphics as well. Very good result for him to get it on pole position. Leclerc, having work done, looks like he might be finished for the session. I don't think he's still in the car though, because he's got the monitors down. Sainz in there
Larry
too.
can photo in 6th.
Bad quality from Larry turn forward then.
Yeah, why are Ferrari so far down? A bit like Mercedes yesterday as well. They were
Wait.
16th and 20th, yeah.
As you said, 8/10 off was the pace between them in qualifying pace simulations.
That's 1.7 though.
Oof.
Or now, like obviously that's over best time, but averagely still 8/10 is really slow.
Right.
I mean, Hamilton's won here 8 times, Megan. Is it
That-
really so much to say
Perez.
that we're going to see Hamilton do something special at this track?
I mean, I hope so. Didn't do anything special last year, but at least he tried.
He did try last year, and I think he got a podium as well. It was a double
Let's hope
podium.
he's good.
Yeah, and let's hear
Who?
from Max.
It's unbelievable. Wow. Maybe.
I hope you have no grip for the entirety of the weekend.
Well, I don't think he is. Perez crashed in practice 1. He's struggling out there. Max has got a great... Richie, are the upgrades, these new slim pods, affecting everything?
I'm not happy about this. This isn't good. I hope I hope that Verstappen doesn't retire. I'd rather him not win, but I don't need to be out. I still want him to be the champion, along with Alonso. But Alonso, well, the cars, unfortunately, dropped off
Yeah.
stupidly, which is a shame. I'm actually quite sad about Aston Martin. I was hopeful, but now, well, I feel back. Yeah, because in Bahrain we said, didn't we, Josh? They'd win a race.
We did.
Mm.
And they haven't yet.
Unless they break the cost cap, they're not going to improve again to where they should be anyway.
Megan is now cracking her knuckles because we've said that Aston hasn't won.
There's
Now
still the
Vinted.
summer break.
That comes out next week in Belgium. Yeah, you're still not going to be up and down? Yes, no, maybe?
They might go up after the
Perez,
summer break.
13,000's back.
So-
Still, Hamilton somehow leading the session. Don't know how he's managed that.
Both Red Bulls are 2/10 off of Hamilton, and they have done their full laps on simulation. Now I'm having a look. They weren't pulling it. Well, Matt Hamilton, Verstappen was faster than Hamilton in the second sector. Then went 2/10 down in the middle sector, and about half a tenth down in the third sector. And the
But
same goes
the
to
Red Bull's a
Perez.
straight line speed car, isn't it? The
Yes.
Hamilton's car, like the Aston Martin,
Is sector
high
2.
downforce through the middle sector, it's just gripped to the floor.
So, in the middle sector, this bit, the Mickey Mouse section through turns 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, that's where
Yeah.
we're seeing Mercedes be faster, then this Red Bull, which for the first time this season is actually looking a bit uncompetitive. Saying now,
So-
probably gets qualifying to be on pole by a million years.
I have an assumption that the Red Bull's quicker in the first sector because turns 1 and 2 are DRS sections. Red Bull are the best under DRS and the best under straight line speed. So if you was to get rid of the fact they have the advantage, they have none. That's all, which is rare.
I don't know if this is edited or if it
What is it?
actually was on the F1
Show
TV
me.
broadcast.
Driver warning. What's that?
Julian Palmer.
What's he said?
I mean, it probably would be. It probably would be on the F1 TV broadcast because I can see everyone tweeting on it. Driver warning, Julian Palmer, get on with the racing, please.
What?
No.
It's a practice session. Racing is irrelevant.
I've never. Well, that's probably Palmer talking from the commentary box area.
Hamilton has most track dominance.
Again,
Then the straights.
yeah, down towards turn 1. And as you said, to that second sector, which is the middle sector is faster. Down some of the faster corners, but oh,
Interesting. This could be a good weekend.
could we get a 9th win?
What's
We
that
better.
flapping around on
Science
the rear
radio.
wing?
It's
I think I have a
visor.
Tito stuck on my rear wing, but hopefully it clears.
He does, right in the
Copy
middle.
it.
Yeah. Oh, bit much. That's Ocon getting ahead of Sainz.
Sainz, could it be your tear off, and could you not be putting it in the assigned pocket which you're meant to have?
Yeah, there's a side
There's
bit.
pockets?
In the side of the
Yeah.
car, there's a pocket where you put them. You're not supposed to just let them go out because it's.
Oh.
Maybe if they did their job, they wouldn't get tear offs.
Russell,
Actually stuck there.
Russell to 5th with the fastest third sector time, 21.907. So he's found some
So-
deltas.
If this upgrade goes badly for Red Bull, they don't have anything else really majorly coming. So I
Well,
guess they
they've-
could go back, but
They've most likely spent all of their money they can, or close enough to it. Like, they've had a lot of upgrades, and Sainz goes purple in the first sector, so the Ferrari wasn't looking that quick. Now, yet again, looking a little bit quicker, 28.258 in that first sector for Sainz. Leclerc, who I expected to have the purple sector over his teammate, he's coming through turn 11. Is he purple in that middle sector? No, he's green,
No.
but he's only 10th and a half. He's quicker than Verstappen still, though.
well, then he's got to keep it up to the third sector. Let's see what
Yeah.
Sainz can do to the second sector. Whereas what is he looking like? Oh, he's down. He's even more down.
Magnussen's purple in the first.
Megan's tapping me what?
By 2/10.
Megan's noticed something on the timing screen.
14, 16. They're completely missing out. Danny
Ricard-
Rick.
Yeah, I know, I've noticed that on the screen. It's on this one, though. Danny Rick down to 16th. Magnussen improving, and he's down by 5/10. Leclerc 6th. Sainz 7th. Magnussen's backed off on a lap time. I think he must have made a mistake in the middle sector. Hulkenberg is on a push lap 2 across the sector. Oh, he actually Hulkenberg. Hulk could go quick, and that's Piastri nearly getting in the way of Magnussen there. As Magnussen to the line. Yeah, 118.649 for Magnussen. But watch Hulkenberg. That's your big money ticket. Hulkenberg up to the line. Does he improve from 20th? This is looking good from Haas. He goes 4th. Oh, wow.
But still, I want to reiterate, in the first sector, Magnussen is 2/10 quicker than everybody.
What is going on? We've got 5 minutes to go, and once again, we have no idea how qualifying is going to shape up. And Magnussen, you're right, he's 2/10 faster than he's 3/10 faster than Hamilton. And this is Sainz look with the rear car. Has he gone all 4 rows off the track? Yes, he has. But no lap time deletions coming up from our control monitors.
See, I feel like we're in qualified already.
It does feel like it, doesn't it? And we've got the new qualifying rule later, remember, where we've got hards Q1, mediums Q2, softs Q3.
Piastri, 4/10 down on the mediums. That's decent. With the yellow middle sector as well. That's not too bad.
He's
Where is
done
Piastri?
7 laps on those tyres.
So he's
14th.
28.5 in the first, 27.8 in the second, with a couple of greens. The third sector currently all yellows, so I don't think he'll be much of an improvement for him at all. He's 7/10 down. Does he improve? No, he's 9/10 down. Big shame for Piastri.
So a lot of the midfield or slower teams, and really everyone, we see them losing a tiny bit of time, really, except some of the top teams in the second sector, which has more of the fast speed and slow corners, so the technical part of the lap rather than a bit of the fast flowing. So some slow corners. Yeah.
Slove is on Ricardo's car.
They want to test something, don't they, on that aero package?
Yeah.
It's late, isn't it? 3 minutes to go.
I would say,
well,
yeah.
They want to test everything, and we still don't. Yeah, and as you said, we still don't have a clue what's going to happen in qualifying. Like, is Hamilton fastest? But is Hamilton really going to take pole? I think someone else has a chance as well.
I'm going to say Nico Hulkenberg's in the top 5.
I agree with you there.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case.
I want him to be anyway, because I love Nico. He's, apart from Verstappen and Alonso, he's probably my third favourite driver.
Just having a think about the graphics at the moment as well. Hulkenberg did that on soft tyres. Hamilton has done a run. He's out there now on used medium compound. He's done 3, 6, 9, 10, 12. He's done 12 laps on those tyres he's on right now. So he's going out for a practice start. Sainz is going out, and he's on 4-lap-old soft tyres.
Hamilton.
This is an out now.
Turn 12. What's happened here then?
Whoops. One of the Hasses.
Why are we replaying something that just seems perfectly normal?
He's got a lot of traffic from the Ferraris as well.
Oh, what a surprise. A Ferrari in the way. Never seen that before, have we?
No. Who was it? Leclerc.
Sainz, probably.
It's one of the...
it's Leclerc.
It's Leclerc, because Sainz came into the pit lane, so it is Charles Leclerc who stayed out there.
Well,
because Sainz is just...
one of them can't, the other can.
They're all coming out with 2 minutes to go, though, in this practice session. And we've got no idea what the true running order is.
Oh, why... Anyone have an idea why Ricciardo and Tsunoda have only done medium runs, not soft? Do they not think they'll get to Q3 at all?
I bet they're banking. Yeah, I bet they're banking on Q2 runs.
They're making an educated guess.
Tsunoda's not going to get through. Ricciardo probably won't either.
They'll get through to Q2 maybe, and that's it. Not Q3.
Ricciardo might not even get through to Q3.
Yeah.
I mean, Q2.
What if Perez doesn't? What if Ricciardo out-qualifies Perez?
I hope that Ricciardo out-qualifies Perez and Verstappen.
Yeah.
Both of them.
Well, yeah. To be fair, Perez has done a good job this weekend. Apart from we'll ignore FP1, but
yes, I agree there.
FP2 and 3, he's done a pretty decent job for once.
He didn't lose that much time because everybody had limited running in practice one due to the wet weather.
Exactly, yeah.
So he got,
Perez, podium, win. Maybe.
With this, yeah.
We'll see how he does in qualifying, though. We'll see in qualifying faster.
Say again?
Hopefully not a win, podium at best. Because I just want someone other than a Red Bull to win this season. Is that too much to ask?
10
Just
If it's Alonso, then yes, that's fine.
Yes, exactly.
With me.
Alonso needs to win.
Would you?
Yeah.
I offer you... Okay, I offer you Fernando. You offer Fernando, and I counter-offer Hulkenberg.
No.
No.
Hamilton?
No.
No.
Anybody?
Big no.
Alonso.
Norris.
Alonso.
What about Lando?
We'll make a possibility
Refusing
exception
Hamilton.
for Lando.
Checkered flags out.
Perez down, but he was up by half a tenth in the first.
Either Fernando or Lando. If your name ends with an O, apparently.
Marianne says Hamilton.
No, he's had
No.
too many wins at this track. 8 is a good number.
But he
He's had
hasn't won since 2021. I'd love to see Hamilton win.
He can win.
He's had his dominance already.
I would love to see Hamilton.
This is hilarious.
I would love to see Lando win. I'd love to see Hulkenberg on the podium. I would Fernando won here 20 years ago. There is such an opportunity here.
20th anniversary.
Yeah.
What happens if we get the most chaotic race and Ricciardo wins it?
Well, we saw Ocon win it.
Are you fine with that, Richie
I'd be
and
shocked.
Megan?
Oh, I'm fine with that. I'm more than happy with that.
If Danny Rick wins.
Do you love Danny Rick?
Yeah. And here is Danny Rick leaving the pit lane. What's he done? Good start. He's gonna break! Shogun, you nearly hitting him.
Ricardo just nearly wiped your back off me.
Because you were slow on the racing line! That's why, Joe! It's called a fast lane!
Do you know
go fast!
No wonder you flipped wrecked in Silverstone last year because you go so slowly that no one can help but hit you. It's like an ant carrying nothing.
I must admit,
They're slow anyway.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen Joe do. Literally.
Really?
He's in the apex, and he's just slowing down, and there's cars coming towards him. What are you supposed to do?
He knew what he was doing.
Also, Ricciardo couldn't have gone out of the line of the pit lane, otherwise he would have got a penalty. Oh, look, there's Jerome D'Ambrosio, the Formula E ex-driver, Formula 1 ex-driver.
So, Hamilton topping the session. That's interesting. Verstappen not topping the session at all this weekend so far. Now, does that curse have to qualifying?
It's like
Does it continue? Does it?
This is interesting. This is interesting.
I like this.
It's not close. It's 2.5 tenths back.
We could be in for a good race.
We could be in for one where Verstappen doesn't win for once.
Oh.
And Perez doesn't win for once. Where we don't have a Red Bull victory. I don't care if we're on the podium. I just want someone else to win.
I don't care. Actually, I do. I'm fed up with that party line. I'm fed up of seeing a Red Bull win. It's great and it's brilliant dominance. Full respect to them.
Yeah, still good for them.
But
just there's other teams.
Somebody else, because I'm running out. I've done it now, 7 times this year. I'm running out of things to say about Max Verstappen winning.
There's 9 teams for a reason.
It's like I got sick of doing it with Lewis Hamilton as well, because it's like, and Lewis Hamilton wins again. It's like, oh, right, okay, you just wasted 2 hours. And it's the same with Max. You go, and Max Verstappen wins in Austria, Hungary, Spain, blah, blah,
You just do what I do. Say what you think. If I was calling Max winning, I'd be like, and for the bajillionth time, Max wins. Can anyone truly be surprised?
Well, you called
No.
Perez winning in Azerbaijan.
That's because it was my birthday.
I know.
And at least it wasn't Max. That was a great birthday gift. It wasn't Max winning.
It was Checo. Literally.
It's acceptable.
11 racing. Oh, let's have that camp angle for the start tomorrow, please. Look at that. That's brilliant.
Ooh, that's a nice angle. I like that.
I want that one for the start tomorrow, please.
Joe, you meant to stop. Oh, no.
Did he just go straight through?
Yeah.
Joe just went straight through the grid.
He doesn't know what he's doing today.
And it's lights out and away we go. It's a good start from Lewis Hamilton, who only goes away to repeat of 2021.
Well, Lewis Hamilton only.
I should have said that.
I remember that line. I remember that one. It's lights out for Lewis Hamilton
What
only.
did we say?
And then Russell into second.
And then
Ocon was in
had a couple
third.
beers.
Vettel's in fourth.
FIA screwed over Russell there because Russell was legally allowed to be there and they gave him the penalty.
He wasn't.
yeah.
'Cause they overtook. They overtook in the pit lane. You can't do that.
Yeah, but he was
Because
his
it's
last
meant to be a
box.
certain grid order.
Yeah. Here's the results then from practice 3. Lewis Hamilton topping a session. Max Verstappen in second, 2 tenths off. He hasn't topped a session this weekend. Sergio Perez is third, back up there. Hülkenberg a surprise 4th. Lando Norris 5th. George Russell 6th. Charles Leclerc 7th. Carlos Sainz 8th. Fernando Alonso 9th. Valtteri Bottas rounding out the top 10. Lance Stroll is 11th with Zhou Guanyu in 12th. Alexander Albon 13th. Oscar Piastri 14th. Kevin Magnussen 15th. Pierre Gasly 16th. 17th for Sargent, 18th Ricciardo, 19th for Ocon, and 20th for Yuki Tsunoda. Okay, let's get the thought of the team then, just quick before we go off air. Starting with you, Richie. What did you make of practice 3?
I think we'll have an interesting. I think we'll have an interesting qualifying.
Amy, what about you? Where are you? There you are.
A really good session, which means that we don't actually have a clue what's going to happen in qualifying, so it's going to make qualifying even more better. We've had some brilliant qualifying this year. Monaco, this last time out in Silverstone, so I think this could also be up there. We've had brilliant qualifying, but we've had boring races. But could this be the weekend where we have a brilliant qualifying and a brilliant race?
Josh T, you're disappearing for qualifying. What's your prediction for pole position?
I don't know, actually. It's a difficult one. There's been, I believe, 3 different toppers of practice. It's open to anyone, and Verstappen has been off the pace a little bit, I think.
Megan, you're not with us for qualifying either. What's your prediction for pole?
From the 15 minutes I've seen today, I'm hopeful for a victory that's not Red Bull. So even just a qualifying victory will do. happiness.
Okay, right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow, Megan, and we'll see you later on, Josh, as well. Just a reminder, qualifying from NTT IndyCar Series is at 2:30 p.m. as well. The race is at 4. We'll be commentating on all of that as well. Is it really 4 p.m. for qualifying? Oh, that's Indy NXT. 8 p.m. tonight is all the action for us. I was just having a panic attack there, thinking, what? So 2:30 for qualifying for the IndyCar Series as well. Don't forget also, next up, it's Formula 2's sprint race, and then we're straight into qualifying procedures as well. So my thanks to Richie, my thanks to Amy, and thanks to Josh in the pit lane, and thanks to Megan for bothering to turn up. We'll see you later for Formula 2. Bye for now.